Hey everyone, how are we? It's Tuesday, it's the Late Night Agenda, and I'm your host Craig. Although these Late Night Agendas, I've noticed, I was looking back through the history of the channel and they're getting earlier, the Late Night Agendas. We used to start after 10 at some point, and now here we are at 9:30. But you know what? The summer weather's in, people are in good form. There's a little bit of transfer news to talk about, potential new contracts as well for players that are already at the club. I hope you're all keeping well. Apologies I'm a couple of minutes late, but I was actually set up and I forgot to do something, so then I had to run back downstairs and get it. I want to start off tonight's stream. I told you guys we were going to have a competition coming, and I'm as good as my word. I'm going to unbox something, as you can see here on the stream. You might have seen the video on Twitter as well, so I'm going to unbox it and show you guys what I'm doing. Where are we? Where's my camera? Here we go. So, the 12men.com. We told you about the 12men.com, and there you go, 12men.com. Maybe move that closer to the camera so you can see. So they've sent us a couple of scarves to try out. They've given one to me, one to Kev, and one to Connor. And with these scarves, you get... Let me just open up this here for you guys and talk you through it a little bit. So, you get a lovely red and white motif, or whatever your club colour is. You see it says the 12th man on there. Obviously, I'll move the logo. The 12th man. Then on the other side, you've got the lovely emblem. But the really interesting thing about these scarves that makes them different to all the other scarves is this. Running down the wing. Mo Salah. Love it. So, let that finish up, Craig. So the good people at 12men.com have given us a couple of things. They've given us 3 of these wonderful scarves to give away. And the good thing about this is, even if you're watching the stream and you're not a Liverpool fan, they do so many club colours. It's not just Liverpool centric, so you don't need to worry if you're a Liverpool fan. You can choose whatever club you like. To be in with a chance to win one of these 3 scarves, there's a couple of ways of doing it. First of all, just make sure you subscribe to this channel. And all the people that are on here probably are subscribed to the channel. And then go over to Twitter, and there's a pinned tweet on there. And just retweet that and follow the instructions on there, to be fair. We're also giving one away on Instagram. So maybe you follow our Instagram account. And I'll tell you what, Kev's pulled a blinder here. He's thought of a very unique way of giving away one. So he's not asking people to follow. He's not asking people to share anything over on Instagram. He wants people to send in their best Craig impression. And whoever he thinks is the funniest Craig impression will get the scarf. There you go. And also, the wonderful people at the 12men.com have gone even further. So every scarf that they sell with the Anfield Agenda link, which I'm going to call out in a second, they're going to donate £1 from the sale of every scarf to a charity a mental health charity that we pick, basically. They seen the video that we put up about mental health on the Twitter account, and to their immense credit, they want to give £1 from every sale to a mental health charity that we work with them on. So if you want to go and buy one, 12men.com, if you go over there and you want to get a discount, 10% discount, just put in Anfield Agenda at the checkout. Really simple, Anfield Agenda, and every sale that goes through with that, £1 will go to a mental health charity that, as I said, we're going to work with the guys with. So again, so much love to the 12men.com. They've been so wonderful with us. 3 scarves to give away. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll cheat a little bit. We'll give one away to one of our subscribers. Fuck the Twitter stuff. If you're on Twitter, great. If not, either way, we're going to give one away to our Twitter subscribers. Let me just place that over there. And then we'll get stuck into the show. Massive thank you again to 12men.com. Put in the code Anfield Agenda at checkout to get a 10% discount, and £1 from every sale will go towards a mental health charity, which, you know, we're massive advocates for on here. So thank you guys so much for allowing me that little intro. How are we all doing? I hope you're all well. Do the scarf skip? Do the scarves? What the fuck is a scarf? A scarf? Do the scarps? It's all going wrong. It's all going tits up. I'm only at the start of the stream. Right, Craig, professional. Do the scarf ship to the USA? I hear you ask, Mike Anderson. They do, mate, I believe, yes. I believe they do. I'd imagine they ship worldwide. In this day and age, I'd imagine so. Don't take that as an absolute, though. But I tell you what, you can enter the competition from the USA. That much I can promise you. What else we got? Hello to everybody. Right, looking good in the hoodie. Thank you very much, Ashel. I just want to move this actually over there. Yes, thank you, mate. I love this hoodie. As you know, I'm going to wear it as much as I can. Words mixed up, yes, mate. It happens from time to time, Graham. You know that by now, mate. My words just go all over the shop. Loads for us to get through. A little bit of talk on who is going to sign the new deal. Shea Ojo going to sign the new deal by the looks of it before he heads off on loan to Rangers. So that's an interesting one to start on tonight. A couple of rumours around Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain getting a new improved 1 year deal or a 1 year extension, which I think is a wonderful move from the club as well, and I'm all for that. Anything you guys have seen or want to talk about, let me know. Apparently the same agent that broke the Fabinho news was confirmed with Pepe. Yes, that was a couple of days ago, Maximilian, mate, and nothing really has happened since. I think he's slowly been... Is he been backtracking a little bit or maybe playing down expectations, mate? But it is that agent, you're right. It is the same guy that broke the Fabinho story, and he did say about Pepe. But again, as things stand, nothing has happened. But that doesn't mean it won't happen. I think it's important to bear that in mind as well. Isaac, my day has been excellent, thank you, buddy. I had a really productive session with a psychologist today. I've started to see a new psychologist. Yeah, really productive. Looking forward to getting stuck into it. And as always, self-improvement is a must. So, yeah, I'm always open about that as well on here. Yeah, very, very good, productive day, mate. Thank you. Van Dijk and De Ligt at the back should be illegal, said Max. USA 9, Thailand 0. Is that in the Women's World Cup? No, that's a massive result for the USA there. What else we got? Liverpool actually signing anyone doesn't seem like it. Relax, Sonny. Christ almighty, mate. Relax. We've only just won the Champions League. The lads, 9 days since they won the Champions League. They're off on their jolly bobs. And some of the guys have had to go and play international football as well. So, stuff will happen, mate. Don't worry about that. And we will go through it as the stream goes on. And we'll talk about who might and might not be coming in. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain signing a 12-month contract extension, which I touched on a second ago, which is class, by the way. I mean, I love that move from the club. That is beautiful. That is a really nice gesture from the club, and you know I'm a massive fan of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, so yeah, that's a massive plus for me. Robbo injured, yes, a hamstring injury apparently, Stephen, which kept him out of the Scotland game tonight, but look, he's plenty of time to recover. I believe it's a minor hamstring injury. He's got plenty of time to recover before pre-season, and no doubt he will. No doubt he'll take it easy. Andy Robertson's a thorough professional. Press Mane, I think because it's gone quiet for the past 24 hours, it's going to happen. You're a man after my own thought process, buddy. I've said the same. When things go quiet is but usually when Liverpool gets shit done. What's a psychologist? Like a psychiatrist, mate, but doesn't issue prescriptions. So a psychologist is somebody who goes into your mind and you talk about your issues, your problems, everything. Just like a counsellor, really. Heard Bayern wait until next season to get Werner as a free agent, said Isaac. Yes, I did read that as well. Now, from Leipzig's perspective, Isaac, that would be madness, wouldn't it? Why wouldn't they just sell him to somebody else? And now, the player would hold some sway here. Of course, the player could dig his heels in and just say, nah, sorry, I'm staying, I'm going to Bayern next year on a free. Surely this will alert other clubs now to the opportunity to go in there and try and strike some type of a deal. Now, I don't know if that'll be Liverpool, but it is difficult when a player's in the last year of his contract. If he digs his heels in, he can see it out at Leipzig. But at the same time, if you're Leipzig, there's a couple of reasons to try and move him away from Bayern. One, you're strengthening a rival, which I'm sure they're sick of at this point. And two, you want to get money from him, not let him go on a free. Let's get straight into the transfers and start with Bruno Fernandes, said Mossy Kyower. Let me see if I have anything in my notes on Bruno Fernandes. If I don't, by all means, you guys let me know what you've read today. I do have some bits and pieces tonight, but not much on Bruno Fernandes at my end, to be honest. 6 times, baby, says Danny. Hell yeah, mate, 6 times. What do I think about Ziyech? I think that he is a good footballer, mate. I keep saying this, though. I've not seen any real links to Liverpool for Ziyech. I don't know, mate. Is he? I often want... Look, I know he had a good World Cup with Morocco, so maybe what I'm saying here be a bit foolish, but sometimes it's the right club for the right player, and maybe being at Ajax, playing in that league, maybe he feels settled and maybe he's getting the best out of himself. I don't know. I've always had a little niggling doubt about Ziyech, about his ability at the very top level. Connor said, on an unrelated note, where's the second white line going off the OBS image above the WFM writing? I don't know, mate. You sent me this. Got nothing to do with me. Let me just check the email you sent, just to make sure. Is it there? No, it's not there, mate. There's no white line. There's just more shoddy workmanship from Conor Crosby. That's all I can say. Conor Crosby. I love winding you up, and you're such a fucker, by the way. Every time Connor wants to get my attention, he's basically calling me a fat cunt because he's putting in burgers as emojis because he knows they catch my eye. Dave is in. How are we, Dave? I hope you're keeping well, mate. Did you see we're linked with Marega? You guys aren't holding back tonight. It's bang, bang, bang with the transfer gossip. Do you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. On Marega. So Connor sent me an interesting piece about Musa Marega of Porto. Marseille are looking to sign him apparently, but have been put off by the €30 million price tag. And this has alerted Liverpool and West Ham apparently to the situation, and both clubs are rumoured to be interested in looking at him. And this comes from Get French Football News, or that's at least where I seen it today when Connor sent me the link. He's a handful. That much I'll say about him. I would have doubts whether he'd be up to our level, but my doubts about him are only really about he looked raw in his finishing. He is very powerful. He can cover some amount of ground. His work ethic seems fantastic. I don't know, is he 28 years of age? Am I right on that one as well? I've €30 million, about 26 million pound. Seems a reasonable amount of money, but is he any better than Origi? Is he going to be able to come in and seamlessly fit into that front three? I don't know, mate. Again, I would love to know what you guys think. Maybe you've seen more of Marega than me. He's definitely a unit, though. He's definitely a big chap. I'll say that much about him. Brewster off the bench next season, Sonny? I would imagine so. I think slowly but surely you'll see him introduced. I'm expecting to see big things from him in pre-season, actually. I'm very much looking forward to see him play in pre-season, I mean. Am I excited for the fixture announcements on Thursday? Not really, Anthony, mate. Sorry, I'm probably sound like a damn squid about this, but you play everybody twice. It doesn't really matter when it happens to me. I'm excited about the season starting, and that's a long way off. We're linked with Porto striker Marega, St. Anthony Cronin. Craig, USA are 10-0 up. I don't know what to say about that. What do you say about 10-0? Do you say well done USA or it's a fucking shambles? I don't know either way. I'll go with well done USA because I feel they deserve that. Only fixture I want to know is when we play Everton at Anfield, said Prez Mane. When we beat Everton at Anfield, mate. I think he meant to say when we beat them. I've heard that Mourinho said that he expects a lot of new faces at Liverpool like last summer. Bear with me, guys. I've got to take my inhaler. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, got to count to 10-ish when I'm doing that. I didn't see that about Mourinho. I heard that he said that Liverpool had invested. He said Liverpool were looking to buy the league, but he wasn't saying it in his usual smart arse way. He meant through intelligent. He was actually giving Liverpool a compliment, what I'd read. And he said that Liverpool have invested very, very well, and every investment that they've made has basically paid off. So I think maybe it's a bit of a compliment. We know Mourinho's a Liverpool fan underneath it all. He wanted a job in 2005 or 2004, 2005 when Rafa Benitez got it. So I think underneath he's always had a little bit of narkiness about him that he didn't get that job. What's the percentage of us getting Pepe do you think we'll get him? I would say I couldn't give you an idea on percentage, mate, because I'd be just making up a number, but it seems very quiet on any other genuine links to an attacking player. The Nabil Fekir stuff I'll get to in a while. I would say Pepe, he's very close to the top of my list of possible Liverpool transfers from what I'm reading and the feeling that I'm getting. Again, take everything I say with a pinch of salt, and it's not coming from any place of inside knowledge. Spurs getting Fekir for 25 to replace Eriksen. Actually, do you know what? That probably would be a very good piece of business by Spurs, and it would be a very Daniel Levy type of transfer as well. A player that other clubs have looked at and not been 100% sure on because of, in this case, injury. With Eriksen, it was a similar situation, only not injury. Clubs looked at him and didn't know whether he'd be able to make that step up. Well, my God, he made that step up. He's been excellent for Denmark and for Spurs. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all if that was the case, Neil. It's actually quite a good show from yourself and of course from Daniel Levy if that was to happen. Not gonna lie though, I'd always feel a little bit of a what if for Fekir and us. And on that, actually, it would appear this summer Liverpool will not seek to return for Nabil Fekir or sign an alternative to the Frenchman. Klopp is prioritising other areas of the field, with the Reds boss needing a new goalkeeper, a left back, and a forward in what is expected to be a conservative summer compared to last year. I got this from the Echo earlier on, by the way. So it does say, well, they say a quieter summer, but we're talking about a keeper, a backup left back, and a forward. So pretty much the positions that we're talking about here, and if that's conservative, then maybe so be it. But maybe they mean conservative from the fact that we're going to look to bring in around 100 million quid, and maybe we'll just reinvest that money. Stephen Richards said, Craig, I saw a psychologist in April and she's helped me big time. Yeah, I've been seeing psychologists on and off, Stephen, for 8 or 9 years, mate, and it's always helped me, massively helped me. And that's why I always say to people about speaking, or speaking to a professional, or speaking up. I always feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest every time I finish an appointment with a psychologist or a counsellor. And this new psychologist that I've started seeing, he's I have a very good feeling about how this is going to go. I really enjoy their session today. What have we got? How am I? I am tickety-boo, Sam, my friend. I hope you're the same. Lo Celso is a great fit. I believe Betis are asking for 60 million, said Raul. Raul, the only link I'd seen, again, was actually to Spurs. But then again, I've seen Spurs linked to everybody. Bruno Fernandes, Lo Celso, the guy that we spoke about a second ago as well. Then we'd seen him linked to Nabil Fekir. I'd seen everybody, every decent midfielder I've seen Spurs linked to. And they will have a bit of money, to be fair to them, this summer. I'd actually heard was it on a podcast, or did I read this? I either heard this on the Football Ramble or I read it somewhere, that apparently the way the Spurs have done their stadium, they don't have crippling payments to make over the coming years. Apparently a big chunk of that's already paid off, if not maybe all of it. So they're not going to have this noose around their neck that they're going to have to repay stadium repayments, I believe. Don't believe the Echo, said Dirty Girl. A lot of people these days believe the Echo are just dampening expectations, and do you know what, I understand that. I don't want, I've a respect for the people that work there, of course, but it does seem to be a lot of, no, this isn't happening, no, that isn't happening, the club aren't going to do this. There isn't very much by way of transfer news or even real gossip. It's more, no, that's not happening. But then again, I don't know what to say. I suppose they do need clicks, so maybe they're going to have to go a bit more clickbaity at times. I'm not really versed, you see, on this whole culture of making money from site visits. I've never been an industry that I've been in, so I don't know really how it works. But yeah, a lot of people seem to think that it's not the same Echo that it was going back a few years, and I'll leave that to everybody else to decide on. What's the news on the list? Absolutely zippity do that, Pranav, that I've seen. Other than what we spoke about last night, it seems that maybe Mino Raiola is using Liverpool and other clubs as just a way of leveraging a deal with Barcelona or Paris Saint-Germain, which seem to be the two front runners for Mathijs de Ligt's signature at the moment. We know that the rumoured amount Mino Raiola wants his greasy little palms given is £11 million, something along those lines. Delight, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. Let's go with Delight because that's the way it sounds to me. He apparently said money's not an issue, he just wants a good footballing project and the money will be sound. And to be fair, that's what I'd like to hear from players, but I don't think he's going to be a Liverpool player. In fact, I'd almost be 95% certain he won't be a Liverpool player from what I've been reading. Mark Henley said, I've seen a psychiatrist, counsellor, psychologist, consultants. I'm fucked up. I think we all are, Mark, in our own beautiful, unique way, mate. But all we can do is keep pushing on, buddy, and keep trying to improve ourselves and those the lives of those around us. Let's take Ziyech. Let's take Ziyech and De Ligt, said Ford Mane. I think we're not going to get either of those, mate, if I'm being honest. But look, that's just my opinion. My opinion is not based on anything. What have we else got? Craig, today I sat down and ate some popcorn and watched Mark Goldbridge Angry Moments. Good. I hope you enjoyed it. I find the psychology of all that type of stuff very fascinating, and that sometimes when a club's doing badly, people are actually more attracted to channels and stuff. I suppose it's called the AFTV effect at times, isn't it? People want to see the fume, so they go and look at the fume, and it's sometimes opposition fans going and watching more so than than your own fans. Now with Mark, I know Mark is a very loyal group of Manchester United fans that watch him since day one. But yeah, it is interesting. We're in a great place, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, as Liverpool fans, we must be just loving life at the minute. 13-0 to the USA. That's getting a bit ridiculous, to be fair. It's full time now. 13-0. Holy God, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If the Ligt goes to PSG, he'll be a money man. And do you know what, mate? I'm not going to disagree with you, because there is no real reason from a footballing perspective for him to go to PSG. Nah, I'd agree. If he goes there, it's for one reason only, and that is a wage. How many years will Klopp stay at Liverpool? He's got 3 more years to go, John. As things stand, his contract ends in 2022. Now, there's 2 trains of thought on this. One is that Liverpool look to add an extra year or 2 onto that deal, but they also want to be respectful of the fact that Jurgen Klopp has spoken before about him wanting to take a break after 2022. When his contract is up, he wants to take a year's sabbatical, I believe. Now, from what I've read, the club are happy to give him an extension. Of course they would be, why wouldn't they? But they want to be respectful to Jurgen Klopp's wishes, and they don't want to pressurise the man. This is what I'm reading now, of course, into trying to sign an extra 2 years at the club. We're going to have to just wait and see what happens, but I think we're going to have him for 3 years no matter what. So let's just see what happens in these 3 years and enjoy it. Enjoy the time that he's here. I'd advise Klopp to buy Fernandes, said Dirty Girl. I talked to counsellor, said Sam. Good man. And the more people that talk, the more people that reach out and open up, the better. It's definitely a good sign, and it's a fucking excellent sign that you're all on here talking about it. And for that, I love you guys. It's really important that we keep bringing this to the forefront, and people know it's okay. We're talking about it on here. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to have mental health problems or to have mental health issues. If we had a broken arm, we'd go to the doctor. If you had tonsillitis, you'd go to the doctor. Well, you know what? Your mental health is very much an important part of your life, so it is important to make sure you look after that as well. What have we got? A little bit of breaking news here. Somebody's saying, who have we got here? Lewis Johnson, breaking news. Andy Robertson suffered a hamstring injury tonight. Reports say he could miss the start of the season. I don't know, mate. I mean, the start of the season's a bit much for a hamstring injury. I think that's just people trying to get clicks, cause a storm. I read and heard a twinge. I'd be amazed if I'm not saying he's going to be back for the first day of pre-season training and ready to go, but I'd be amazed if he's not ready for the start of the season. I honestly would. I think that's just a little bit of scaremongering. But he does have a hamstring injury, that much is certain. And thank you, Lewis, both for the comment, mate, and for the super chat. Is there any player Klopp has signed that has flopped? Karius is probably the only questionable one, mate. No. I mean, I don't want to say Clavan, but I would say Karius is probably the only questionable. But even at that, it was, 4.5 million, something like that. So was it a flop, or was it, it's very small money. The fixture list come out on Thursday, I believe, Cape Town Muslim. We haven't been linked to any left backs though. No, not that I've seen. I've seen United obviously linked to Wan-Bissaka, and then there's a backup option for them, a full back. Now I know Wan-Bissaka was quoted as £60 million or something like that. But there's some kid from Norwich that I'd seen mentioned as well. And somebody said to me last night in the stream, and I can't remember for the life of me who it was, that Liverpool had apparently looked at this kid from Norwich as well. I don't know if it's true or not though. What I do know is that the club are very much of the belief that Adam Lewis will be capable to take the step up. Whether that's this season or not, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Who's the most likely to replace Sturridge? I would say Ryan Brewster is that replacement. That doesn't mean we don't still need to go out and buy, because even this year with Sturridge and Origi, we were still short. We still had a massive drop off from those front three to what we had. So I would say, Ryan Brewster, but we do still need to go and buy there. And it's good to hear that even the Echo saying that an attacker is a position that we're looking to strengthen in, because quite frankly, I think if we didn't strengthen up front, it would be stupidity. We were very fortunate this season in that there was very few injuries to Salah, Firmino and Mane, and next season's going to be even busier, as we know, up to 72 games, so those guys aren't going to be able to play those games. We're going to need players to be able to come in and substitute in. What Liverpool manager thought to sign Markovic? I think it was Brendan Rodgers, I think it was. 2 months for a hamstring is fine. Robbo's made of stern stuff, said Stephen. Hi Craig, did you see USA Women's? See, there you go again. Just ruining everybody's comments, Craig. Hi LMA. Hi Craig, did you see that USA Women's football team just battered Thailand 13-0? But I'm supporting England. I did. It's great from an American perspective. It shows how good they are. But at a World Cup to see results like 13-0, it's not great. It's not great to see for the tournament, to be honest. But you can't fault USA. They went out and got the job done. Aaron's from Norwich looks like a great prospect. To Gary Marr, thank you for that one, buddy. Pepe deal agreed. Medical could arrive. Fernandes to lit targets. Again, it's just a random group of words, mate. Pepe deal absolutely isn't agreed. Fernandes, I don't know what's going to happen with him. United very confident on the Fernandes thing. De Ligt, we're not going to sign De Ligt. I'd be amazed if we do. So Liam Granby said these Mancs are trying to say right back from Palace is better than Trent. To be fair, on this one, I want to give Goldbridge credit. I'd seen he did tweet today to say that people comparing Wan-Bissaka to Trent Alexander-Arnold are just wrong. He said Trent has been one of the best right backs in Europe, and there's no way that the two of them can be compared. So I give him credit for that one. He took the high road, and I like this new mark. I like this new, more sensible mark, and it is right because Trent is a better right back. Wan-Bissaka is a very good fullback and has a lot of potential, but Trent Alexander-Arnold is just the dog's bollocks at this moment in time. Juan Grizz said I think we should go for a top class attacking midfielder. Is Pepe, I don't know what that means. I reckon Klopp will probably buy a young UK based fullback with decent amount of experience. We have Lewis but never played first team football, so Brian Morrissey. Yeah, smart money, mate. Could absolutely go with that one. I've seen nothing though. I'm so ignorant when it comes to potential left back incomings. I suppose it's probably because I'm looking at it knowing that they're 100% going to be just back up to Robbo, whereas a forward I'm thinking there's more chance of them getting rotated in. It's kind of a bit more of a sexy position, isn't it, to get excited about. Do you think we'll sign Bruno Fernandes? I would put him in the same bracket as Pepe as a more likely target than some of the ones that we've seen, but I think a forward seems to be the language that's coming out, and he's more of an attacking midfielder, whereas with Pepe he can play across the front three. I don't want to say Pepe, but he seems more likely, although it's gone very quiet on the whole stuff around Memphis Depay, and it looks like he wants to move out of Lyon as well. Though whether Lyon will be willing to let so many players go in one window, or whether we're even interested in them, I don't know, because you've got Iwar who's linked away, Fekir linked away. We were linked with Musa Dembele, but then an article came out that said Klopp's been so impressed with Divock Origi that he's pulled away from looking at Musa Dembele and he's going to stay with Origi. Then we know, of course, Liverpool have been linked to Depay, as I said. Then there was Ndombele. Just so many times we scouted so many players, I think, at Lyon this season that I honestly don't know who's more likely and who isn't. But we need a forward, and that's important. And if Mignolet moves on, our friend Stevie Nicolas had something to say again. We do like a bit of Stevie Nicolas on here. No, we don't. But to be fair, this time it was semi-reasonable in what he said. He believes that we should move on Simon Mignolet and get in Neil Etheridge as backup goalkeeper. Now, as far as some of the things he said, this is probably one of the more sensible, to give him credit. If Mignolet moves on, you would have to say wish him well and say that this year he was a thorough professional and backed up Alisson wonderfully. And if he needs to move on, he wants first team football, then absolutely best of luck to him. Just get as much as you can from, wish him your best, and then bring in a backup keeper. And Adrian available on a free. We're talking about 8 million, 10 million for Etheridge, something like that. So you probably cover that with what you get from Mignolet. Are you doing a vid on the Premier League fixtures on Thursday? Honestly, Lewis, I haven't given it a moment's thought, buddy. If they come out in the morning, the odds of me doing a video in the AM are slim to none, my friend. But definitely could do something in the afternoon if you guys wanted, around 2 o'clock, something like that. And then, of course, still do the nightly stream as always. Bruno Fernandes scored 32 goals from midfield. He did, the highest ever, I believe, from a midfielder in the Portuguese league, I think. But it's about the system that's set up in place for him to score those 32 goals. And I had a really interesting little exchange with somebody who commented, I cannot remember who the gentleman's name was, somebody commented it on one of our videos, a very well laid out, well articulated point about how we play and how, and we spoke about this, myself and Brian and Connor, the other day. Of the chances created by Liverpool Football Club this season, Mo Salah created the most chances, but after that, the second and third place on the list of chances created were from our fullbacks. And it was a very good point raised by both, I think maybe Brian on the show the other night and this gentleman in the comments. And it's interesting to think that, do we use our midfield for creativity? It is an interesting thing to think about. You always need one forward thinking midfield player on the field, but we don't really rely on a midfielder in the way we play. But then again, there's always good to have more strings to your bow. So I can make points for all these arguments. I can say yeses for the Bruno Fernandes, but I can actually think that the likes of a Pepe seems to be more likely. John Davis said Fernandes to United is a done deal. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. There's a huge interest there without a shadow of a doubt, John. And I know United fans are very confident. And look, if they get Fernandes, it's a very good piece of business. Pranav said Pepe, a left back, goalkeeper, and one more. 4 signings max. What's your all-time favourite Liverpool kit? The grey candy shirt from 89-90, mate, because it was my first one. And then the red home shirt that went with that. And then the 87-88, I think it is. The Crown Paints one, that's basically the same candy shirt. Yours was the grey Adidas away from when Torres scored at United. That was a nice kit, to be fair. Do a vid on Thursday, said Stephen. I'll try, mate. I'll try. I'm trying to get as much content out as I can, but I'm knackered, if I'm being honest. Craig, saw your video on ticket prices for the tour. Absolutely shocking price structure. Now, I want to point out, Kev, again, that they were the top price tickets, the ones we were talking about. But I just can't speak today. I was talking to some Reds on Twitter earlier on from America that were going to the games, and one guy was going to the Dortmund game, and I think he said he paid $250 for a pair of tickets, so $125 each, which is about, what, £95, £90? So, not great, but not as high as the $400 and something we were speaking about last night. Dylan, yes, I have seen the Expressions video that you're talking about, and it's not really my place to comment on what he said, mate, because it depends on how you want to interpret what he said, and I would rather chat with him personally before I give an opinion on things like that, because I don't know if it was a poor attempt at a joke or what it was, mate. So it's not really fair for me to undermine Expressions by giving my opinion on it without talking to the guy. So I'll talk to him next time I get a chance and see if it comes up. I don't really want to bring it up because I don't want to talk negative on the stream about somebody who isn't here to give their own opinions as well. I wouldn't stab somebody in the back like that. Our midfield is used to allow the fullbacks to get forward all the time, said Gary Marr. And Dylan, you've put that comment in twice, mate, in the space of 7 comments. You don't need to keep putting it in over and over, mate. And then you retracted 3. Do you know what, mate? That can't go on. You need to stop spamming in like that. That was one of my first kits as well, said Liam. I think you're talking about the grey Adidas one. Do you think VAR will help increase the prices of good defenders? Do you know what? That's an interesting question. Who's it? Jazz the Face. Do you think VAR will help increase the price of good defenders, ones that win the ball fairly, not pulling shirts? Martin Skirtle would have been absolutely screwed, wouldn't he? Yeah, look, it's an interesting thought. It would certainly probably change the art of defending a little bit. Will it increase the prices? I don't know, mate. Prices are going mad as it is, so I don't know if that will, but it is something worth considering, mate. Good shout, that. What does everybody else think? It is a really interesting question. Do you guys think it might increase, or do you think it'll just lead to maybe less stupidity from some defenders and grabbing shirts? Lloyd said if we can get a midfielder who can bag 10 goals a season with our front 3, then we'd be unstoppable. We'll probably get that from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Lloyd, when he gets back to fitness. I'm thinking about going to a match over here. Just got the time off work, which is very difficult. Where is here, Brandon? Are you in the UK or are you over in America? I hope Pepe Reina comes home. I'd love that, Adam. I'd absolutely love Pepe Reina to come back. I was saying this the other night. Do you think Mane might play as a striker this season? Yes, I actually do. GFGG. Not all the time, but we've seen him play through the middle. And do you know what? He looks quite effective to me through the middle. So if we did bring in a wide forward, say, and we wanted to give Bobby a rest, then I would say the sensible thing would be to push Sadio Mane through the centre, and he can definitely do it. Definitely do it. The Candy would lean nice. That's a good early first kit. Reina coming? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's more the fact that he was in the media speaking about Liverpool recently, and I think people have put two and two together. But he's still an AC Milan player, from what I'm aware of. Cara and Lovren would do great with VAR either. Yeah, a lot of them. To be fair, a lot of past defenders would be absolutely screwed with VAR. Do you think Gomez is as good as De Ligt? Yes, Mark, I do. I know that's probably not a sexy thing to say, but don't undervalue how good Joe Gomez is. I think he's as far along in his development as Mathijs De Ligt is. I really do. It's just sometimes we see foreign players or players that we don't see every week as more attractive. But I've seen De Ligt make plenty of mistakes as well. He's still learning the game at a very high level and doing a very good job. But yeah, Joe Gomez is really, really good. Oxlade-Chamberlain and Keita will boost our midfield. It costs. What else we got? Do you think VAR is good for the game? Yes, I do, overall, but it's not perfect. I think the game is fine the way it is, said Daily Pool. Takes too much time and will interrupt their flow. Yeah, there is that side of it. The big problem is that a lot of decisions with VAR are still going to be open to a referee's interpretation of a rule. Whether he believes it was hand to ball, whether he believes the player was making his body bigger, whether he believes there was enough contact for it to be a foul. It's not like other sports where in tennis the ball's either in or out. It's black or white. Like in cricket, it either takes a nick off the bat or the pads, or it doesn't. It's different in football. There are still grey areas, so it's not going to be perfect. But if it gets the offside decisions correct, the big decisions, and a few other bits and pieces, yes, I do agree that it takes up too much time. Like, for instance, sometimes if there's a penalty shout up one end, it can be 30, 40 seconds before anything happens and the ball goes back out of play. Now, if it's brought back for a penalty, we seen the other night in the Portugal game, Portugal thought they had a penalty and then it was pulled back for a penalty against them. And what if a player gets injured during this build-up of play? This is what pisses me off as well, especially about this offside rule, where linesmen are wait to put their flag up until the player touches the ball. Well, sometimes there's been tackles made or players have to sprint to the ball. It's only going to lead to injuries, unnecessary injuries. So I agree, it's not perfect, but overall I would say it would do more good than bad, but definitely isn't perfect, and it never can be perfect. Liverpool are paying a lot of Nicolas Pepe. What's this? Even though it won't be guaranteed to start. €70 million seems to be the price tag for Nicolas Pepe, from what I can read on social media. Right, what else we got? Done that one. Oh yes, I want to just alert everybody to, if you've got an official club membership, the new ones are open now. You can buy the club membership for the 1990-1920 season. They've now gone on sale. There's different levels of membership. There's a full membership. There is, I don't know what they call it, but it's like a membership without the frills. Then of course there's a junior membership. But for all the news and prices and stuff on the official club memberships, go to liverpoolfc.com and you'll get all the information on there. I was just reading up on the site today and I happened to notice that the new memberships had gone on sale, and it gives you the chance, if you buy a membership, to go into member sales where there's 10,000 guaranteed tickets to every game that go to member sales. But there's two different tiers, I think, on that one, people who have been to X amount of games before. But you can also sign up to the Auto Cup scheme, which means that you'll be able to get a chance to go to every single cup game if you're signed up to that scheme that Liverpool are home in. But it does mean that your card will be charged for every game, I believe, whether you want to go or not. So there is that to take into account. Who do you think Liverpool will sign first? A forward. I just don't know who. W windows. I'd be lying if I gave you a name. Yes, Scotty, I absolutely will check the email, buddy, after the stream. No problem. Willow, the memberships are different prices, mate. It's not just £35. There is another one that's like £21 or £22, something like that, which means you don't get like the the key ring or the the jazzy little extra bits that they send over. You just get the bare basics. I look tired. I'm exhausted, Stephen. Honestly, I'm absolutely exhausted, mate. This last month is really taking it out of me. But I'm not moaning. Jesus, don't get me wrong. I couldn't think of a better place to be. Pat Moynihan said membership already done. Package arrives in July. Sweet. Nice one. And don't forget, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so, and you'll be in with a chance to win one of those 3 scarves from the 12men.com that we were talking about earlier on. We're giving one away on Instagram, one away on here, and you can check out our Twitter account at Anfield Agenda for information on the other ones. Also, if you want to go and have a look at the 12men.com and you like the scarves, just put in Anfield Agenda at the checkout to get a 10% discount, and then £1 from every sale will go towards a mental health charity as well that we're going to work with the guys on, which is such a lovely gesture on their behalf. Massive love to the 12 men for that. The fixtures have been leaked. Liverpool play Burnley away. No, they haven't. They tried that shit last season as well, mate. The fixtures 100% haven't been deleted or haven't been leaked. Somebody pulled this exact same stroke last year and people bought it as well. It's nonsense, mate. Give it 2 or 3 weeks time. If we haven't signed anybody at that point, I would get impatient, said Param. Yeah, look, we will get our players in as soon as we can. Jurgen Klopp wants to get players in. He'll want them in before they go on that tour of America. I've no doubt in my mind about that one. But sometimes it isn't a perfect world. Sometimes you got to move players on as well, and that can take time. Adam Park said, Craig, my first kit is this season because I could never afford the kits. You got one this year, buddy, and you picked a good year to get your first kit because I love the jersey this year. I really do. But you know what, mate? Kit or no kit, it doesn't make you any less of a fan, buddy. It's not about owning stuff. It's not about being able to show that you've got the brightest and shiniest stuff. It's about your love for the club, mate, and you clearly have that. So don't worry about money and stuff like that, buddy. Just continue being the class act that you are. Can't wait for... What's this? Can't wait to wake up in the morning and see who we've signed. You're probably not going to see anybody tomorrow, to be honest. What's the news with the Porto striker? So yes, as I said earlier on, we were linked to that guy Marega. I'm just trying to find where I have my notes on this one. Connor sent me some stuff earlier on this one. Where is it? Yes, so we've been interested in Musa Marega of Porto. The initial interest and the serious interest apparently came from Marseille, but they were quoted €30 million, which they believe was a little bit too rich for their blood. So apparently that's alerted Liverpool and West Ham to look at Marega now. Again, I don't know how serious that is or not. Hasn't there been a link with a Benfica youngster? There has indeed, mate, and I do have some information on this for you as well. So apparently Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp was very impressed by Benfica B's young midfielder David Tavares during the behind closed doors friendly that the Reds played against them before the Champions League final against Spurs. He's a 20-year-old midfielder. He's 6'2" in height. So he's certainly a big unit, and he's predominantly an attacking midfielder but can play as a left winger as well. Now Liverpool picked the game against Benfica B because they thought that they would be best able to replicate Spurs' style of play, but apparently this guy stood out during that friendly and Liverpool were very impressed with him. So yeah, but there's definitely an interest there. I think we can say that. I think this guy was hoped to have been fast-tracked through to the first team last year, but I think he did his ACL or something like that. I think he had a major injury that kept him out for most of last season, and this is why he was playing with Benfica's B team. But one to keep an eye on for sure. So just to go over the name again, it's David Tavares is the guy's name, and he's a 20-year-old 6'2" attacking midfielder. And that's really all there is on that one. It's not the sexiest name, but you know what? Sometimes these players we don't know too much. Like João Felix, nobody knew anything about this kid 12 months ago. Now look at him. I'm doing my leaving. Any advice? Just don't stress, Ian. That's the only advice I can give you, mate. Whatever happens in the leaving cert, mate, it won't define the rest of your life. You can repeat. You may go and do something that doesn't have anything to do with your leaving cert. Just give it your best, mate, and I'm sure that your parents will be proud of you. That's all I can say, mate. Just don't stress. Don't stress about it. Just go in with a clear, calm head. My own daughter's doing her junior cert at the minute, and yeah, I'm really proud of the way she's handling herself as well. I think she's just gone through and taking it in her stride, and it's not the end of the world, mate. Honestly, whatever happens, just give it your best shot. Can I ask, where did you get the jumper from? Yes, the Liverpool store, mate. They sell it online. It's part of the new training kit. It's got the AXA stuff on it. Where is it? Which side is it? This one. Yeah, see, it's got the AXA part on it as well. The weird thing is, online it looks horrible. It looks terrible on the site. I don't know if they just have a bad picture of it up, but it's much nicer in person. And it's £50, I believe, or €65 or something like that, or €62.50 if you're buying it in Ireland. Great channel, mate. What do you think of Liverpool signing Ashley Young? I think I would rather Liverpool signed fucking, I don't know, Alberto Moreno to a lifetime contract. Why the hell would we want Ashley Young? He's shite. He's past it. He's shite. He's a mank. Nah, we'll pass on Ashley Young. Thank you very much. It took 7 days for Twitter top trend to go from Liverpool European Champions to Liverpool transfer news. It's mad, isn't it? It's we're all over it. We're everywhere. We're dominating us. Why so many messages, Liverpool Football Club, mate? Why so many messages? There's 7 or 8 different ones there. Ojo is going to Rangers on loan. Yes, on Shea Ojo. I briefly touched on it at the start of the stream. It does seem like he's going to join Stevie G up at Rangers on loan, but I think the club are looking to tie him down to a new deal before he makes that move. I think we're looking to extend his deal and then send him on loan, which is not unusual for Liverpool. We've done that with a few players in recent times. I'm surprised at this one, actually. I have to say, I thought Shea Ojo would have been gone this summer. What do you guys think? Anybody watch much of Shea Ojo? Anybody impressed with him? Anybody think that he has a future at the club? Have you seen how cheeky they've been making the European kit much more expensive? They do it every year, mate. They did it last year. I bought the grey kit with the European badges on it. I think it was like £82, something like that, last year. Yeah, it is. They do charge a lot for a few badges on the side of it, mate. But unfortunately, that is the world we live in. But it does. I tell you what, though, if you can spend the extra few quid, the badges look pretty sweet on the shirts. I'm very much happy with the one I got last year. Bateson is a B-Tech. Fucking brilliant 6 times, mate. I mean, the effort and the quality that went into that comment there, mate. I'll tell you what. We should all give you a standing ovation. Bateson is a B-Tech. Did you come up with that all on your own? Really? All of it? And did you come up with the fact that I'm bald and Bateson's bald and we're a little bit overweight and then think, do you know what? I'm going to come on here and going to say Bateson's a B-Tech because I'm fucking hilarious. You're really not, mate. I'm giving you the time of day so you have your moment in the sun. You know, the attention that you were jumping up and down looking for. Well, you're getting it. You're getting a little pat on the head for a job well done 6 times now. Bateson tells you to fuck off. What else we got? I'd rather take my face for a shit than sign Ashley Young. I'd pretty much be the same, mate. I have no interest in signing Ashley Young. Ojo had a good pre-season last year, said Jack's page. Craig got a horrible feeling Klopp's going to do a potch and not sign anybody. He will, Kyle. He will. And here's why, buddy. It would be absolutely foolhardy of us to not do it and push on this summer because we need to catch up with Manchester City. We need to be able to compete on all fronts and we need to keep pushing on. You cannot stand still in this game and Klopp will know that. Now, I'm not expecting us to have a mad window like last year. Maybe one big signing and then, when by big I mean 50 million plus, and then whatever for the goalkeeper and the backup left back. I'm not expecting a whole heap of transfers this summer, and you know, a few is okay because you just want to tweak and strengthen in the areas where you believe that you need to strengthen, and we've got a good set of young players coming through as well, and they need to have a chance to prove themselves. What transfer news do I have today? I think I'm going through it bit by bit, mate, so bear with me if you can. See your new kit, does it have the Champions League badge on it? You have to buy it, Scotty. There's a special Champions League version of the kit, mate, where you get the respect badge, the 6 bag, and the badge, and the Champions League logo badge as well. So you get 3 badges on it. I think they're about 20 quid more expensive than the normal kit, something like that. Who's your favourite current Premier League footballer, and it can't be a Liverpool player? Probably Bernardo Silva or De Bruyne, probably one of those two. It's horrible that I'm saying 2 Manchester City players, but you said not a Liverpool player. Probably would be one of those two, to be fair, if I'm being honest. They're absolute quality. Bernardo Silva's been brilliant for Manchester City. If you need a new moderator who isn't a Liverpool fan, I'm your man, Craig. Thank you, Alex, but we've got loads, mate, at the minute. But just you being here, Alex, means a lot, mate. So thank you. And I'd love to get your thoughts on Arsenal as well, on what, transfers coming in for Arsenal. I heard that the money's after being cut, seeing as there's no Champions League football. I think Stan Kroenke needs to give Unai Emery some money in the market, because let's be fair, you need it in midfield and you need some defenders as well. This has to be the most boring window ever. Relax. It's only just starting. Have some faith. We don't need to do that much. It's not all about going out and signing 6 and 7 players every window. We've taken our time and built up a good squad. Now it's just about tweaking in those little areas and just making sure that we've enough strength and depth to challenge in all the competitions. And we're not too far off it. Let's not forget, we're champions of Europe right now, and we got 97 points in the Premier League. So yeah, we need to improve our domestic cup form. There's no doubt about that. We need to improve there, but it's just little tweaks. It's nothing major. Great show, but it's not as hype as Sunday with them transfers. Yeah, I'm just trying to give you an honest appraisal of what's going on. There isn't too much happening at the minute. There is an update actually that the club made about players that they're retaining next season. So academy players, Joanma, Connor Masterson, Glenn McCauley, Corey Whelan and Ben Williams are all set to leave the club, and contract offers have been made to Bobby Adekanye, Daniel Atherton, George Johnson, Sharif and Edvard Tagsev, I think is how you pronounce the guy's name. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players I think leaving, and then 4 or 5 of them getting contract offers to stay at the club. Bobby Adekanye is an interesting one. I heard that he was out. I thought he was on his way out the door, but it says that offers have been made to him, so let's wait and see if he signs. Young to LFC, laugh my ass off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see that anywhere. I think somebody's just on a wind-up completely there. Craig, Stan Kroenke gives fuck all about Arsenal because he's investing in the Rams so much. Sadly, that's the reality for Arsenal fans. I know Arsenal fans that I've spoken to on social media aren't too impressed with Kroenke, and they want him to put his hand in his pocket, or not even in his own pocket. They just want him to release funds for Unai Emery to start rebuilding that squad properly. John Bale said, hopeful for Liverpool and Scotland. It's not far. Getting Robbo, lots of injuries, definitely never cover for him. Robbo will be grand. I mean, we've got 2 months till the season starts, just under 2 months. I think he'll be fine. Few weeks away, have his holidays, bit of recuperation. He might miss a few pre-season friendlies, but I think he'll be sound for the start of the season. Why are we not signing Clavan back? He's just too good, mate. We can't afford him. Simple as that. Mourinho was apparently a Liverpool fan when he was a child. Yes, I'd read or heard somewhere before that maybe it was Jamie Carragher on a wind-up or something, but I'm sure he'd said before, and if it wasn't him, I apologise, but that he'd seen Mourinho with a Liverpool badge on his phone at one point. Could be just a wind-up though. Craig, what do you think about this? Rafa to Chelsea, Mourinho to Newcastle. Rafa won't go to Chelsea again, and the Chelsea fans don't like Rafael Benitez. I'd seen the links that you're talking about in the paper, alright, but Rafa won't go to Chelsea because, one, he's not really liked there by the fans because they're assholes. I mean, I say that purely on the way they treat Rafael Benitez, because the man deserves more respect than that. And I've heard him booed at Stamford Bridge, which is sickening because he did a good job there. Mourinho to Newcastle, yeah, he chases the money, doesn't he? And if he's given a blank checkbook, it's a perfect job for him. But why move on Rafael Benitez to bring on Jose Mourinho? It just seems like a stupid move for me if I'm the guy that's buying Newcastle, which I clearly amn't. Cash in on Lallana, in my opinion, said Param. Arsenal looking to sign Carrasco. I wouldn't like a money grabber on my team. Carrasco went to China, didn't he? Am I wrong about that one? Didn't he leave Atleti and go to China? Which is a very strange move, and was clearly only money oriented. You're right. What's meant is, Craig, that he's had a few injuries, scares in the past few months. Yeah, look, we definitely need cover, John. I don't disagree with you, mate. It's a hard sell to somebody, isn't it, to come in and be back up to Andy Robertson, because you know you're really only going to get games if he's injured or a little bit of rotation here or there. Divock's 12-inch. I'm really good, thank you, mate. I hope you're keeping well. It is rather quiet in the transfer rumours, though, I have to say. Not the interview. Yes, it would be an interview. My talk with Cash, our little video with Cash went out today. I hope you guys had a chance to watch it earlier on. I think it went out about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's always a pleasure to catch up with Cash. And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, we spoke about a couple of transfer rumours. We spoke about the ticket prices for the USA tour. And we spoke about, if you have the time. Exam went well, very pleased, said Big Man Steve. Nice one, buddy. Delighted for you. Glad to hear it went well. Chelsea treat their managers like shit, said Cape Town Muslim. Yeah, it is weird, isn't it? It's hard though, because Conte went in, won the league, then went out. They seem to get... It seems to almost work for them sometimes, doesn't it? This weird way they treat managers. The only problem there is that there's no consistency in signings and there's no real look to the future. So I think that's where they're going to come unstuck, with this change in managers around. Roll on the Premier League season, can't wait. Starting to get bored already, said Gary. You're not on your own, mate. You are not on your own. I'm struggling already with the lack of games. At least the pre-season games coming up will give us something to enjoy. I've seen an interesting story, and you guys might have seen this today on social media. So ahead of the Liverpool's Champions League final win over Spurs, each player received a bespoke iPhone case. I don't know if you've seen this. A 24-karat gold-plated cover created by iDesign Gold were given to the 27 squad players as well as the Reds boss Jurgen Klopp. Each individual case features the name and number of the player, along with both the Champions League and the Madrid final logos. The luxurious items are available to buy at department store Harvey Nichols and can cost as much as $3.5 grand. $3.5 grand for a phone case. I hope they all have the same fucking phone as well, because it'd be a bit of a waste if you're giving out $3.5 grand phone covers and the players don't all use iPhones. But yeah, 3.5k. Nice gift, by the way, for the 27 squad players and the manager to receive, but up to 3.5 grand each. It's a bit rich for my blood, but do you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with a good old fuck 'em case. Do you know what I mean? Link below in the merchandise. Do you know what I mean? Fuck 'em. Link below. Who wants a 3.5 grand case when you can have, I don't know how much it is actually. I want to say a 16 or a 17 quid fuck 'em case for your iPhone or your Samsung phone. Do you know what I mean? There's no competition, is there really? Link in the description below. That's the first time I think I've ever pushed merch. Look at me. Go team merch. Those phone covers were amazing, said Daly. They were great, to be fair. They did look nice, the pictures of them. P.S. Dumfries will be a good buy as backup to both Trent and Robbo, and he could add a new element to the defence if needed. He's also Dutch, so has some international teammates to entice him, said Seb Russell. Yeah, I've seen a couple of people mention that guy's name actually, and PSV obviously some really good players at the minute. I wasn't overly impressed with him in the times I've seen him during the internationals, but I really struggle to judge players on international football because it's not the week in week out football that they play with their teammates, so sometimes it's a little bit stale. Anybody seen much of this Dumfries guy that can give us an opinion on him? Because I'll be honest, I haven't seen much of him. You want great left back cover, Celtic's Kieran Tierney. I think he'll probably go somewhere, but will he want to go and be back up at Liverpool? Because that is the sell here. You are going to be back up to Andy Robertson, and that's there's some tough shoes to fill. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I'm interested to see what the club do on this one. How did Chelsea get their transfer ban? It was, I believe, for underage players. Something to do with underage players, I think. Only got notifications now. What did I miss? I swear YouTube don't like us. I swear that they don't. Because last night I had the stream scheduled about an hour and a half in advance. And then I came on to do the stream and noticed that it wasn't scheduled. So I had to do it last minute. And then loads of people not getting notifications as well. I apologise for that, but unfortunately there's nothing I can do at our end about the notifications. The phone case worth more than the actual phone? Yeah, a lot more as well. I mean, what's an iPhone? $1,000? Most expensive, maybe $1,000, something like that. 3.5 grand, that's just mad. 3.5 grand phone case, absolute madness. Am I an Apple fanboy? Yes, Pranav, I am. I have to admit, I do. Yeah, I have a MacBook Pro, I have an iPhone, I have an Apple TV. My daughter uses an iPhone. Have I any other Apple products? I have an iPad. Well, it's an iPad with a cracked screen because Lucas smashed it. But yeah, I am a bit of an Apple fanboy if I'm being honest. Roberto, are you having a stroke or something tonight, mate? Some of your comments have been a little bit weird now. It's funny for like a minute, and then it becomes silly, mate. So can be cut out the silly comments. Cape Town Muslim said Cash Boyle knows her onions when it comes to football. She is so knowledgeable. I really she is. I don't know. I keep saying this about Cash. I don't know where she gets the time from. She's studying journalism at the minute. She is I don't know. She's one step away from being a qualified barrister as well. She does stand-up comedy. She does stuff with Tranmere Rovers. She does other charitable stuff as well. And she works as well on top of that. I don't know where she gets the time. She writes. She's a force of nature, is Cash, and I cannot say enough good things about her. She's so knowledgeable. Gomez used to play left back under Brendan Rodgers, said Mr. Smith. Fielding too many foreign players in an under-18 game. It must have been a little bit more than that for them to get a transfer ban. That must have been the final straw for a few things, because weren't they done before for some more stuff around underage players? I don't know if it was the way that they brought them into the club or what it was. Should we give Harry Wilson a chance? This is probably, so far in the summer, the biggest question that keeps coming up and coming up. My opinion, my blunt opinion on this is no, he's not good enough, and I don't think he will be good enough. But that's just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't mean jack shit. The only opinion that really matters is Jurgen Klopp's. I know Liverpool fans have gone both ways on this conversation. Some people believe that what he's done in the Championship, he'd need to transfer up to the Premier League, and that's a big step up. And it seems like he may get pre-season to prove to Jurgen Klopp that he deserves to stay. But there's also been articles that say that he might move on for somewhere between 20 and 25 million pound. So interesting. Interesting to see what happens. I mean, I'll hand it over to you guys. What do you think? Do you think that Harry Wilson deserves to stay at Liverpool Football Club, or do you think we're going to go out and bring somebody else in, and with the other options we have, Shaqiri and stuff, he might not really get much of a look in? Why did we not sign Gylfi Sigurdsson when Brendan came to us? I don't know if it was to do with money, or I don't know if he just didn't want to come. I honestly couldn't tell you, mate. Chelsea fans need to be careful what they wish for. If Sarri goes after top 4 in the Europa League, he's going, David. By the looks of it, he's going to Juventus. I think they're just haggling over a fee at this moment in time. Because even though they want to sack the guy, it still seems like they want compensation from him, which is the most Chelsea thing ever. Android is better than Apple. It's a preference, mate, isn't it? It depends what you like. I like the user interface on Apple stuff, and I like the ease of use, and I like the way all the products link up together. I love stuff saving to the iCloud. I love that when I take a photo on my phone, it appears on all my Apple devices. There's a lot of pros to Apple, but yes, there's definitely cons as well. They like getting money out of you. They like you buying extra stuff. My wife uses a Samsung Galaxy and I use an iPhone, so there's a bit of a divide in our family. If we get 25 million, I'd sell. I was going to say Harry Kane. Harry Wilson said Pranav. The Blues have been banned from registering new players until January 2020 for breaking rules over the signing of foreign under-18 players. Thank you very much, John. I thought it was something along those lines. Watching 2 big boxing matches on Saturday, yes. I will be watching the fights on Saturday, mate. Whenever boxing's on, I always try to watch it. John Hamilton said Chelsea would charge after FIFA said it found breaches in 29 cases of 92 investigated, including that of striker Bertrand Traore, now at Lyon. John, mate, I really do appreciate you taking the time to look that up and put it in the chat, buddy. Thank you. Does Grujic get playing time on loan at Germany? Yes, he's played a lot for Hertha Berlin. And again, Grujic is another interesting one, because we'd seen last night an article come out that said there was 3 clubs in Germany interested in Marco Grujic: Hertha Berlin, Eintracht Frankfurt and Werder Bremen, and the fee was around 25 million. But then I'll take you back a few weeks when Atletico Madrid were apparently interested in Marco Grujic and the numbers were about 40 million, so interesting to see. Sadly, it's not looking great for Marco Grujic in the future of Liverpool. I'd originally read that he was going to go out on loan to a club that was going to be playing European football this season, but until something happens, I suppose we just have to wait and see. John said the Blues have also been fined £460, while the FA has been fined £390,000. I meant to say £460,000, by the way, if I didn't. If Pepe comes, sell Wilson, and if Pepe doesn't come, let Wilson stay. I think if Pepe doesn't come, Press, I'd be amazed if somebody else doesn't come, mate. I'd be more than amazed. I'd quite frankly be a little bit pissed off if Liverpool don't strengthen in the attacking area this window. It would just seem silly to me. It would just seem like an unnecessary risk for us not. Now let's look at this. We're going to bring in probably 15 million from Kleiny. We've got Daniel Sturridge's wages off the books, which are I think 120 grand a week, something like that. We've got Moreno off the books. We're going to sell Ryan Kent. We might sell Harry Wilson. Could move on Simon Mignolet. Probably a few more fringe players going to be moved on. We spoke earlier on about a couple of younger players that were released. So there is money being freed up. So there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be going out and strengthening in an attacking position as well as possibly a backup fullback. Jordan McPhee said, I think we need a backup fullback on both sides. Think it could be massive for us to challenge on all fronts. I'd loan Wilson to a Premier League team, said Brad. Yeah, I get that, mate. And he did sign a new contract last year, so he's a few years left. Loan him though, or sell him with a buyback clause. That's an interesting thing for me. So if you're selling him, at least you're freeing up money off the books, and you have that buyback clause. I think a really good move, and somebody suggested this last night, would be Leicester if Harry Wilson was looking to move on. Happily Egg said, I don't know about Ligt being overhyped, he's just overpriced. I suppose they kind of go hand in hand, don't they? Because when you pay X amount for somebody, they do come with a high expectation, and I don't know, he's not going to end up at Liverpool. It looks like it's Barcelona or PSG at this moment in time. Going to bed for definite now. Good night, Reds. Good night, Anthony. Chat to you soon, mate. Ings, Solanke. Yes, I forgot about Danny Ings as well, Mr. Smith. Thank you on that one. And Solanke and Klein. That's over £50 million. Good shout. Yes, we did have Danny Ings on the loan to buy deal with Southampton for like £20 million, I think. So that will be coming into the club as well. Just another reminder, guys, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed, please do hit that button and give us a thumbs up as well. I see a couple of people are saying good night. If you can just hit that thumbs up button before you head off. John Hamilton said, Craig, there's another 2 players we can release and ease wages, but we'll have to have 2 foreign players out on loan because they can't get UK visas. What's going on with that guy, D'Souza? I can never remember his first name. Is he going to be moved on? Because he seems to have been on a tour around Europe, unable to get a visa. Will Kelleher become the backup keeper if Mignolet leaves? It doesn't look that way, DJ lad. I would have hoped so originally. Kelleher or Grabara, but it seems as if one of them will compete to be the third keeper and will probably bring somebody else in if Mignolet leaves. Is Solanke coming back this year? No, he's gone. We sold him to Bournemouth. He's gone. Are we a selling club? No, mate. Not as much as every club sells, but I think the days of the big boys coming in to raid us are well and truly over. Now that doesn't mean we'll never sell a player to Barcelona or Real Madrid again, but I think we're going to sell them on our terms if we do sell them, and it depends. We've often spoken about South American footballers, for instance. Sometimes they just have it ingrained in them that they want to play for Barcelona or Real Madrid. It's, there's that whole culture that you couldn't deny the obvious attraction for them. But if you're talking about other players from Europe or maybe some parts of Africa that don't have that kind of sentimental attachment to the Spanish league, then there really isn't much of an option to push on. Like right now, we're a better club than Real Madrid and Barcelona. We're the champions of Europe. People can argue about that in the chat and say, well, they've got Messi, blah blah. Yeah, they do, and we beat them. And I love Lionel Messi, and I think the world of him, but they both have some rebuilding to do, and they both have aging squads, whereas we're not even at our peak yet, and we're still developing. So now I wouldn't say we're a selling club anymore, mate, but I suppose to a certain extent, doesn't every player have a price? Adam Park said, Craig, sorry for my ignorance, but I don't understand boxing, trying to kill each other, but I kind of like some fighters. Look, the idea of boxing is not to get hit, mate. Some of the best boxers have been defensive boxers, like Floyd Mayweather. As much as I despise him, he's probably the greatest defensive boxer I've ever seen, and he's never really got banged up throughout his entire career. So I've had this argument with my father-in-law as well, who believes a similar thing, and I don't think so. I think the art of boxing is not to get hit. And is not to try and kill each other. It's to score points. Yes, knocking somebody out is a way of ending a fight, but it's not as simple as that. It's a great sport. I just love boxing. I know people have disagreements and people don't like it, but for me, I just love the sport. Paul Dunning, how are you, mate? Welcome in. Great to see you with us. I'd love to see a swoop for Pedrinho from Corinthians. Sick of Barca at Madrid getting the Brazilian talent. Yeah, the problem with that seems to be the visas, though, mate. Some players that come from Brazil have dual nationality, so some players do have Portuguese passports as well. So that can make it much easier to get them into a European club, particularly an English club. But if you're looking at other players, then they either have to. There's so many rules on this. They either have to be what's classed as like a, not an undeniable talent, but like a super talent or some bullshit word that they use where they have to be a gem, basically like a superstar, or you have to have played X amount of games for your country and your country has to be ranked in the top, I don't know, 25, 30 countries in the world. There's so many different things that stop players coming to the Premier League because of immigration law, where it seems to be a bit easier for them to get into clubs in Portugal or Spain or Germany maybe, or Holland. And that's one thing that has held Premier League clubs back from time to time when it comes to look at signing top talents. But don't underestimate the links and the scouting that Liverpool do in South America. I think, am I wrong in saying that it was Gabriel Batistuta's brother or something like that? That's one of Liverpool's chief scouts in South America. So we definitely do have people working and looking at players from South America. What else we got? Isn't there a deal where Barca can't sign any but players till 2024? I think it's 2021 or 2020, Lewis Johnson. I think it's at least the start of next season where there's this rumoured clause that if Barcelona come in to sign any Liverpool player, they have to pay €100 million penalty on top of the cost of the transfer. Now, if this has ever been actually confirmed or not, I don't know, but it was rumoured to have been part of the agreement that took Felipe Coutinho to Barcelona. Basically, like, piss off and don't come back near us for 3 years. Man United buying everybody. Apart from Daniel James, though, have they actually bought anybody? Yeah, like really bought anybody? I know they've been linked to every name under the sun, and they're also linked to paying David De Gea £20 million to get rid of him, to replace him with an inferior Gianluigi Donnarumma, which, I mean, go figure. Fernandes and Werner, no question, said Blaine Burns. Timo Werner thing has gone really, really, really quiet. The only stuff doing the rounds is that he's prepared to see out his last year in Leipzig and go to Bayern for free, and that kind of Bayern are happy with that as well. Doesn't make much sense. Caniggia, is it? Claudio Caniggia. Is that the person? Either way, I think it was his brother or some former Argentina player's brother. That's all I remember. If it's Caniggia, then spot on. We don't buy superstars, we make them, said Paul Dunning. That is true. But you know what? Wouldn't we all love a Kylian Mbappe to be just dropped in there? I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? To just go and get Kylian Mbappe. They bought James. I did say that, didn't I? I said apart from the kid they signed from Swansea. The 18 million Welsh Messi, who looks like a good player, to be fair, and at 18 million it's definitely worth a roll of a dice. But big rebuilding job at United, and their biggest problem isn't going to be who they sign, it's their manager, because he's just not going to be good enough, in my opinion, to get United back to where they need to be. Happily eggs at Barca have to be careful. They're very close to being in trouble on the FFP front, and they are. I know it's not them actually, isn't it? It's Griezmann that looks like he's going to be gone to Paris Saint-Germain, with Edison Cavani heading the other way to Atletico Madrid, which will be interesting. Be interesting to see what type of money's involved in that deal as well. Do you think Liverpool will sign, or how many players do you think Liverpool will sign? 3 probably, Patricia. At a guess, a forward, a backup keeper, and maybe a backup fullback, but that's just guesswork based on what the journal seem to be writing. It's not going to be as crazy a window as it was last year by the looks of it, but we don't need that many players. Hasn't Tiny Arms, aka Jordan Pickford, been linked to Manchester United? Not that I've seen, Brandon, but that doesn't mean it's not true, mate. I'm not really looking up too much on United transfers, so I haven't seen anything, but yeah, I'd love it to be true, because it would make me laugh even more. Any news on Pogba joining Real Madrid? there seems to be a bit of a tug of war going on between Real Madrid and Juventus for Paul Pogba. I think United are digging their heels in a little bit. They don't seem to. They won't even name a price. Apparently, is the rumor going around, but I don't know. Have we any United fans in the chat who maybe have an opinion on this? Because I don't really have an opinion on Paul Pogba, to be fair. We need a creative midfielder, said DJ Lad. Again, I'll go back to the argument somebody put to me earlier on, mate, that our fullbacks provide a lot of our chances, which is true. They're ranked second and third behind Mo Salah, and that we don't really use our midfield to create many chances. Now, we could do with somebody there, I agree with you. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will give us some attacking threat for midfield as well, but we were in for Fekir. That was my argument. And we were in for Fekir, and I know Fekir can play across the front three as well as playing a little bit deeper. But it seems like it would be a Pepe type player by the looks of it. Aiden said Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be sacked by Christmas. I think they were very premature to give him the job in the first place. Especially when you look now, and they probably could have gone in and tried to get Pochettino at this moment in time. Daly said, how's there set 350 in the chat but 70 odd likes? I honestly don't know what the number on the likes are, mate, because I haven't checked. I saw a Liverpool fan say sell Alisson and buy, I don't know who PI is. Woodburn got no playing time for Wales tonight, did he not? I wasn't watching the Wales game. Yeah, he's another interesting one, isn't he, Ben Woodburn? He had injuries and his development seems to have stalled a little bit. I've got to be honest, I think he's another one that won't make it at Liverpool Football Club, if I'm being brutally honest. How do you think Lille, Atalanta, Leverkusen and Leipzig will do in the Champions League? Lille, I don't think will do great, because I think they're going to sell a couple of their top quality players by the looks of it. Atalanta is a very interesting one because their crowd are raucous. I mean that in a good way. Like, really, that'll be a difficult place for away teams to go. Leverkusen, depends on the group. They've lost Julian Brandt. They still have Kai Havertz there. They've got some good young players, but they're so easy to get at, Leverkusen. I mean, I've seen a lot of them this season in the Bundesliga, and they can score and they can be pulled apart. They were involved in some crazy games this season, and there was usually a lot of goals on both sides. Leipzig, I don't expect too much from, if I'm being honest, in the Champions League. I think, Leipzig, I don't think they'll get out of the group, even if I'm being brutally honest with you, in the Champions League. But again, it all does depend on what group you get. What else we got? Sell Pogba and use the money to rebuild because the Glazers are clearly not going to spend, said Joel Heatley. My mouse is after sticking again. I hate this piece of shit. Okay, bear with me 1 sec. God, I hate this thing. Sorry guys, my mouse is sticking. Are we all tickety-boo, by the way? Is the stream still live? Because the chat's frozen for me as well, so I hope it's not a problem at my end. What else we got? I think Cato will be our attacking midfielder when he's fit, said Adam Parks. What if we don't sign anybody, says Red Tick Gaming. I don't think that's going to be the case, mate. I honestly don't. Sorry if you can hear me messing around here. I'm messing around with my mouse trying to get it to work, which it doesn't seem to want to. It seems to have just packed up, given up the ghost. Let me see if I can get a remote mouse to work as well. The joys of doing stuff live on a stream when stuff packs up and stops working. Wait, let me see. Why isn't this even working? 111 likes, Paul Turner said, which is great. Thank you. Guys, sorry about this. Bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck this mouse isn't working. And, do the usual technical shit of change the batteries around and hope for the best. There we go. Now we're sucking diesel. She's back working. Sorry, guys. The mouse packed up the ghost there for a second. Seems to be back working now. Right. What have we got, guys? We've got about 25 more minutes left on tonight's stream, so if there's any other bits and pieces, please do let me know. I swear to God, I'm going to smash this mouse someday. It just doesn't like me. Oh no, it's disappeared again. Come on, mousey poo. There you go. Right, cool. Fine, here is the battery. Sorry, Joanne. And I actually do have a mouse mat. It's downstairs, Joanne. I did get a mouse mat with the €10 donation that you sent, buddy. The stream is moving. Sorry, it was just my mouse was stuck. It's fixed now. Apologies about that. Really need cover for Robbo, said Happily Eggs. Fixing the mouse. Yeah, there's definitely a dirty joke in there somewhere, isn't there? Oh, she stopped. She's packed in again. Bye bye, Deja. Logitech. Is it? No, not this one. I had a Logitech wireless mouse before. It was an absolute piece of shit. So I got a new one. It's called a Jellycomb or something like that. It works. It's not great, but it does the job. Can you check your email after the stream? Scotty, I've already said to you that I would, mate. I said it earlier on in the stream when you asked me the first time that I'd do it, buddy. Still confident something will happen this week? Yes, I am, mate. I don't know what, but I am confident something will happen. What's your opinion on Ryan Brewster? He's going to be an absolute superstar, I think, Duxon. I don't want to put too much pressure on him this season because he's still so young, but the dude looks like a baller, and like I keep saying how hard the club fought to keep him here. Sorry, you can probably hear me messing around with this. Yeah, there was interest from Bayern Munich or Borussia Mönchengladbach, and if you remember correctly, we cancelled the pre-season friendly last year because the club were so pissed off about the way Mönchengladbach went about that deal. I think a slow introduction is probably best for him. League games, cup games, but Jurgen Klopp thinks really highly of the kid, really highly. Sub said DiMarzio now reporting that PSG lead the pursuit of Matthias de Ligt. If he goes there, look, it's for one reason only. If he goes there, it's for shillings, and there's no two ways about that, and there's no lying about that. If he goes there, it's for money, and there's no other reason, because he could get better moves elsewhere that will suit his career better. Craig, Milan wants 20 million for Lovren. You mean want to give us 20 million for him? I'd said to you at the start of the window that I would move on Dejan Lovren, and that a move to Italy was what I had seen linked to him a couple of months back. Thoughts on Adam Lewis? That he looks like a very good young footballer, and that Liverpool think very highly of him, and that the coaches of the club think very highly of him, and that Craig's going to smash this mouse against the wall now in about 5 minutes. Yeah, look, is he ready to make the step up in cover for Robbo? I don't know, but I do know he's very highly thought of. Thorgan Hazard is gone to Borussia Dortmund, mate. He signed along with Julian Brandt, so that's gone. David Donovan, I'm afraid, mate, he signed up, and that's a done deal. Already been announced. Adam Lewis is top class, said Liverpool Football Club. Smash that mouse, mate. You've got no idea how much I want to smash this little piece of shit. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a second yoke on my phone here. Bear with me 2 seconds till I get this wireless mouse app on my phone to deal with the rest of the stream. Keep the comments coming, ladies and gents, while this bald idiot tries to sort this out. Sorry, I can't think and write at the same time. So I do apologise. Right, remote mouse. I'm resorting to this. It's a good app actually if you are looking for a wireless mouse for free and you've got an iPhone. Remote mouse is actually a pretty good app. I've used it a few times when I've struggled. Right, are we done? Are we good to go? Come on. Is it working? Oh, would you look at that? She's only working. God bless this wireless mouse. Right, now we're back in action. See you piece of shit. You can fuck off. Right, think next season's fixtures are coming out soon. They're coming out on Thursday. Actually, thank you to the person that subscribed there. Thank you so much, because in situations like that, I'm always thinking, oh God, people are going to hate me. They're going to hate me here. Thank you. Whoever that was, I love you. Thank you for that subscription. The stream is moving. Yep, it's going tickety-boo. Poundland sell good mouse. Do they? I'm not even joking. I hate them mouses. Oh, they're so annoying, aren't they? I have to use a wireless one because my MacBook is so far away. Because if you guys remember the early days of the stream, there's a fan on my MacBook that makes a constant hum, and that gets picked up by the microphone. So I need to use a wireless mouse because I have a different monitor that I use just to make sure that you don't hear that noise. What else we got? Anything on João Pedro? Nothing at all that I've seen, mate, other than the links to Manchester City. De Ligt off to PSG, said Pranav most likely. God is here for you in your heart. I don't believe in God, mate. As I've said before, I'm not a religious person. Fully respect anybody that is, but for me, not religious at all, I'm afraid. How am I doing? I'm doing very well, thank you, Pat. I hope you are the same. Bernadette Farrell, how are you? Welcome in. I hope you're okay, actually, Bernadette. I know you had a difficult week, mate, and we're thinking of you. Aminal, how are you, mate? Welcome. Great to see you back as well. I got a Trust wireless mouse. Not had any issues with it. Nice one, John. I'll look into that. Thank you, pal. De Ligt, I think, will sign for Barca. That's what I thought all along, Shield X, but it's looking like PSG are trying to manoeuvre a deal from there as well, or maybe it's just Mino Raiola trying to manoeuvre some more money into his greasy little mitts. Do you think Manchester City will ever win the Champions League? No. I swear to God I'm not saying... just said I don't believe in God, and then I'm going to swear to God. It's a turn of phrase. I swear to the moon that I honestly am saying that to be petty. I genuinely don't think Manchester City or Paris Saint-Germain will win the Champions League. I would say ever, but in the near future or the coming years. I just think there's just something about Europe and them that isn't clicking. And I know they've looked apart at times, and I know you can say they went out with a VAR thing to Spurs, but it was the correct decision and they went out. They went out to us last year when they were favourites, and they'll probably be favourites going into the Champions League again next year. But I still don't think that they'll win it. But they're a fantastic team. Just something about Europe. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's naivety in the competition. I don't know. But I just don't think they'll win it. And it's not just me being a horrible, petty little shit because I'm a Liverpool fan. Because City are fantastic. Really good team. Just Europe. Like, we're more suited to European competition, for instance. Demarzio saying Milan want Lovren for 20 million. Sell him. That's my answer to that, mate. Sell him. Of all the centre-backs we have at the club, he's the one that I'd look to move on, because he's picking up more and more injuries. And nothing against Dejan Lovren, he's been great for the club, and he's a lovely lad, and I've nothing but the height of respect for him. But if we're moving on a centre-back, then he's top of my list to move on. Raiola's in Paris talking with PSG. Craig's blonde. Imagine. Was there... Maybe it's just a lie. Blonde. I was actually a blonde curly hair as a kid. I've said this to you guys before. I'm not even joking. Craig, what do you think of Jesus? I'm assuming you mean Gabriel Jesus that plays for Manchester City, mate. Who I call Martin Lawrence, by the way. He's not as good as I was expecting him to be. When he signed for Manchester City at first, he looked shit hot. He looked really good. And I knew that we'd looked at him as well, and that Manchester City beat us to his signature, to be honest, from what I'd read. I don't think he's progressed as much. He seems to be one of those strikers that misses a few before he scores, but still a good footballer, don't get me wrong. But if I'm a Manchester City fan, I'm not confident if he's coming in to replace Sergio Aguero. I'm nowhere near as confident as I would be having Sergio Aguero there. Would you bring in if we sold Lovren? Toby Alderweireld. I've said this before. I always thought that the smart move for us was to go to Spurs, pay that 25 million for Alderweireld's clause that's in his contract for this summer, and then get 2 or 3 years out of him and allow Keanu Hoover to progress and then bring him through. I just think it's a smart move. You won't get any resale value, but you will get 25 million quid worth of defending at a Toby Alderweireld over 3 years. So that's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. Sorry, I could give you the up in the air answer about Mathijs de Ligt and stuff, but realistically, I think that would be a clever thing to do, to go and get Toby Alderweireld and then bring in Keanu Hoover over the next couple of seasons. When's the Champions League draw? Oh, I did know this. August. I think it's August at some point. They have to wait for the qualifying rounds to finish. Sorry, mate, I don't know the exact answer, and I did check that up for someone the other night. Who are Liverpool buying? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, mate. A forward, a backup left back, and a goalkeeper by the looks of it, but I've no names for you. Other than the ones we've been linked with, of course, Pepe, and then there's Fernandes, who looks maybe United bound. Fekir, he's been linked with Spurs, somebody said today. August the 29th. is the Champions League draw. Thank you, Ant, for that. Top man, do appreciate it. Hazard is buzzing for Real Madrid. Yeah, it's a good move for him, to be fair, and one that he's wanted for quite a while now. Brian said the problem with those petro teams is that they wanted to buy success so quickly they forgot that doing it so quickly would alienate all but their own fans. They're so toxic now, neutrals can't engage. Interesting. There was a very interesting thread that popped up on Twitter, and I think I spoke about this before. I can't remember the name of the Manchester City fans account, but basically one of the guys from the Anfield Rap, and I don't want to use the gentleman's name because it's not my place to do, but one of the guys from the Anfield Rap was in a conversation on the thread about, he stated that he believed that this Manchester City fan account was either paid by the club to post stuff, negative stuff about journalists or people that are attacking Manchester City, or was basically an employee of the club. Now, I'm not sure about the second part, but something along those lines. And when questioned on it, he backed his comments up by saying, well, your account was created something like February, but you only started tweeting over the past month or so, and you've tweeted 2,000 times over the past month, and most of those have been aimed at people who've been saying negative things about Manchester City. And I'm saying this from a point of view where I am wholeheartedly applauding the gentleman in question, because it took some balls to stand up and do that, and he obviously had to have some information behind him as well. So I want to give massive credit to him. I'm in no way saying this to try and say anything negative about the Anfield Rap. Far from it. I will only ever compliment the Anfield Rap because first and foremost I'm a fan of what they do. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting to read. And if you look at the likes of, let's say, Liverpool friendly journalists, so let's use somebody like Miguel Delaney as an example. Manchester City fans have been going in on him quite a lot lately when he puts anything up to do with the situation around FFP or the links from Der Spiegel or the emails or anything along those lines. And I don't know if anyone else has been following those threads on Twitter, but it's been very interesting. Do Liverpool need Werner? We need a forward. Whether it's Werner or not, I don't know. I like Timo Werner. I really like Timo Werner. At 23 years of age, he's still got time to develop, but it seems that he wants to stay in Germany and play with Bayern Munich. If that's what most of the media reports are coming out to say. I think De Ligt will end up in Spain, said Happily Eggs, which will be Barcelona if he goes there. It'll be interesting in the Champions League this year with Salzburg, Zenit, etc. in the competition. Just a reminder, by the way, Liverpool are on pot 1 in this year's Champions League draw. The pot 1 is made up of the Champions League winners in Liverpool, the Europa League winners in Chelsea, and then the 6 winners of the 6 top seeded leagues around Europe. And then pot 2, pot 3, pot 4, etc. So Liverpool be in pot 1, and what that means is they will be the top seeded team in their group when the draw is made. So this year, as an example, we were seeded number 3, so we were seeded behind Napoli, we were seeded behind Paris Saint-Germain, and then of course we had Red Star Belgrade in there as well. And Napoli lost their shit over that, if you remember. So yeah, interesting. We'll be in pot 1 as defending champions. God, that sounds good to say, doesn't it? Defending champions in pot 1, which in theory means we should get a bit of an easier draw, but there's a draw that could happen that would be so great. It would be Liverpool, Dortmund, Atalanta, and God, who was the other team? Liverpool, Dortmund, Atalanta, and I can't remember who the other possible team was now. Celtic, that was it. Liverpool, Dortmund, Celtic, and Atalanta is a possible draw, and that would be class. The atmosphere of those games, home and away, would be unbelievable. Will you get to many games next season at Anfield? I hope so. It depends on tickets, mate. This year I couldn't get a cost price ticket to a game, and I refuse to pay over the odds. If I can get some next season, yes, but at the same time I've got to be mindful of the channel. If I go to games, then nobody can do watch-alongs and the channel won't have anything to do. So if I can get cover, that will help, because I don't want to let people down. Me going to a game and not doing a watch along, I feel like I'm letting somebody down. So if I was to go, I'd hope to have cover for a stream. I'm looking at you, Brian Morrissey. And then yeah, it's about getting tickets, mate. But hopefully, because this is the first year of my adult life that I haven't been to Anfield for a game. Been over to Liverpool a couple of times this year. We were there for the last game of the season, but we didn't get tickets. We were just there, and we did a meet up with people from the channel, and we were over there for the Boss Night event as well. before the lads headed off to Madrid, which was absolutely amazing. So yeah, I hope to get over, but again, it's just about tickets really, isn't it? But I'm not the only one. Do you know what I mean? I've no divine right to tickets. I'm the same as everybody else, just struggling to get my hands on tickets. Do you think Van Dijk can win the Ballon d'Or over Messi? On this one, Ducks and mate, I'm not pawning you off because I will give you an answer. But myself, Brian and Connor did a video on this very subject that's up on the channel. It went out yesterday. It's 15 minutes long, and we go into more detail than I can possibly give you in a little answer on here. But yes is the short answer, mate. But if you do want to check out that video, it is in one of our listed videos below, as is the chat that I had with Cash earlier on. It's a bit longer. The Cash one's about 45 minutes long. And there's 2 more segments from the talk that myself, Connor and Brian had the other day. So there'll be 2 more 15-minute segments coming out soon. So please do keep an eye out on the channel for those as well. And lots more little bits and pieces coming up. Get another podcast sorted soon with Cash, Chris, Dave. Might even get Tom back on. I want to get Raptor on for a chat as well, because I haven't had a catch up with Uncle Raptor for a while. Brian Morrissey, got to get him on because me and him need to have a chat about the goalkeeper situation. So that has to happen as well. What else have we got? Craig, and here you bash LFC haters for free. Yeah, see, the thing is, look, people often ask me about this whole troll bashing thing. I don't look for hassle. I don't go on to other people's channels and try and stir up shit. It only ever happens if people come on here and try and have a go at me or at us. Other words, you guys say I'm a placid guy that just likes to have fun and read comments and enjoy interacting with people, but I'm not putting up with shit from anybody because we've worked too damn fucking hard to make this a fun environment to allow some little gobshite to come in and try and undermine it by belittling us. So that's the only reason that I'm so aggressive towards trolls, because I fucking despise them. I absolutely despise them. They're all cowardly little fuckers who hide behind fake names, fake accounts, spend their lives going out there and trying to be little people because they're projecting their own hate and their own pain from their own lives onto other people, and I just don't have any time for them. I really don't. I hate them. I despise them with the fire of 1,000 suns. You could do a vlog at the game. Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's a good idea. We've done that a couple of times this year as well. The couple of times we've went over, I should say. But I just don't like letting you guys down. And I enjoy the watch-alongs as well, I've got to be honest. I mean, that was a major part of my enjoyment of this season, was the watch-alongs on here with you guys at the games. I mean, how can I ever forget the Barcelona game, the game against Everton where Origi scored, the late goal against Spurs. I mean, I've shared some of my favourite moments of the year on here with you guys, and I wouldn't change that for the world. It was amazing. It was such an experience this year. Nobody wants that, Craig, said Brian. It's really easy, Brian. Honestly, doing the watch-alongs is really easy, mate. What else we got? Brian would be like the principal watching the class while the teacher is out. Good shout. Yeah, it's a good shout. Brian as a principal, I like that. What's up? The chat, hope everybody's well, said Cam. How are you, buddy? Great to see you in as always. I know sometimes you miss them and you catch up with us later on. Atalanta would slap United by double digits, said Andre. Nice. Yeah, they're a good side, Atalanta, and as I said, great crowd there. Any chance you can stream earlier? This is earlier for us, Bowie. We used to start after 10, then we moved to 10, then 9:15, and now 9:30. But we will be doing little shorter videos, mate. Just the live streams will usually be at night time, if I'm being honest, because it works for my family situation. We do pre-recorded stuff that we go down to Connor's place to record, which is... It's weird. I said this yesterday. We recorded an hour's worth of stuff, split it up over 3 videos. But it took probably 7 hours over a day to do because of a 4-hour round trip and then setting up and taking stuff down. And it's mad to do that for just 3 15-minute video clips, which don't get anywhere near as much views as the live streams, which makes it even weirder. The channel's been built off these live streams and the watch-alongs, and I absolutely love it. I love it. I couldn't imagine... People make pre-recorded content and make great pre-recorded contents, but for me, it's about the interaction. I love coming on here live and chatting with everybody. I love hearing how people's days have been. I love hearing how their families are. I love knowing how they're getting on with their exams, if they had a good day at work. I love when we're able to pull together and give people a little boost up if they're not having a good time, or if somebody's passed away or there's an illness in their family. I love giving away free shit, which is great as well. And don't forget, 12men.com. Check them out. Put in Anfield Agenda. at the checkout, and you will get a 10% discount code, and £1 will go to a mental health charity as well. And of course we have the competition, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because we'll be picking a winner from here, a winner from Twitter, and a winner from Instagram. And the 12men.com have given us 3 scarves to give away, so you can go onto the site and pick which one you want, and they will send it on out to you. So much love to our friends at the 12men, the 12men.com, men, not man, men. Keep making that mistake, my bad. Also shout out to @MoSalahFacts on Twitter as well. Make sure you give him a follow. Obviously Brian Morris, he's in there. Are you still going by Beer Nonce, Brian, on Twitter? I can't keep up with you, mate. You change every few minutes now. 12men.com, yes, 12men.com, and it's really simple. Just put in Anfield Agenda at the checkout code if you like them. And just to make sure, for people that were joining us late, let me grab this again. Let me grab this cool scarf. So here is the scarf. Here's my scarf that was sent over. Let me just make sure I can open this up and you can see it again. Ooh, nearly knocked the box over. So you can see the branding there, the 12 men, and then on the other side you've got the guy holding up the scarf. But the really cool thing about these, and these are the difference maker, as I said, is they play music. So this one plays the Mo Salah song. Which is unique, and I think is a first for a scarf manufacturer. But the really interesting thing as well about these is, sometimes I'm just waiting for it to shut up. When you get it, you also get a little Velcro patch that opens up, and you can take out the little microphone or the little music player, and it's also encased in a little plastic bag, so if it rains, it's kept safe as well, and you won't. Oh, I did it again. I hit off the button. I'm going to have to put it around now. I'm going to mute it down. But yeah, 12men.com. Do check those out, and thank you for the giveaway. Sarah Smart, that absolutely is not a question that has any place been asked on the stream, my friend. It's disgusting, and quite frankly, you're getting booted out. Sorry, it's just, it's a vulgar question. Even jokes aside, it's a vulgar question, so... yeah, afraid I'm going to have to remove you for that one, mate. I want one so badly, said Cam. They're class. They really are. 12 men stuff. They have a fantastic range of products, said Wendy. Yeah, do check them out. And again, don't forget, you're in with a chance to win one. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll be giving them away next Wednesday, the 20th of June. So keep an eye out for that one. Kev has a really interesting competition going on the Instagram account. If you want to win one on Instagram, all you have to do is just send him your best Craig impression. His decision, not mine, by the way. I had nothing to do with that competition. But yeah, head over at Anfield Agenda, head over there, and send Kev your best me impression. I don't know how the hell he's going to judge that or what the hell it's about, but I've got to get one of those scarves, said Aziz Khan. If you do, make sure use Anfield Agenda at the checkout. Not because we make money, because we don't, but you get a 10% discount, and £1 will go to a mental health charity as well that we're going to figure out with 12men.com, because they only made that gesture today because they watched one of the mental health videos that went up on Twitter. So much love to Paul and the guys at 12men.com. Thank you so much. Can you believe BBC are charging £150 a year for the over 75s? I'd seen that. I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to be honest, sorry, it's a shithouse move that they're trying to make it so over 75s have to pay their television license. That generation of people have done more than enough in all of our countries. So yeah, it's a shithouse move, if I'm being honest. Did I miss any transfer news? Brett, honestly, mate, it's been a quiet one tonight with regards to transfers, mate. What else we got? Lip sync and bounce up and down. What, did you want to see my man tits bounce or something? Is that it? Let's talk about 6, baby. Would be nice on a scarf, said Mark Anthony Vieira. Well, they've got different ranges. So that one's a Mo Salah one. The one Kev has is the LA one. And then Connor has the one that went, and it's Liverpool FC. So they've different ranges of scarves, and they're not just limited to Liverpool scarves either. They do them for all clubs. So, as I said, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll be able to chance to win one. And I've got more stuff coming up as well. We're working on more giveaways as well. You guys know we like to give away stuff, so keep an eye out for more giveaways coming up. Over 70 should have it for free. 100% agree, Robbie. 100% agree with you. Did you know we're 6 times champions of Europe? I didn't, Adam. So when we say 6, we mean twice as many as Manchester United, and 6 times more than Arsenal and Manchester City and Everton combined. Right? Let me just get 6. Yeah, no, 6 sounds good. Yeah, 6 times champions of Europe. And just a reminder that the Champions League trophy is on display at Anfield for the next, I think, until Sunday. So if you get a chance, you want to go down there, have your photo taken without big ears. The most recent one is there for I think, till Sunday anyway. We're champions of Europe and we're never going to stop, said Gonads. I don't get tired of hearing that or reading it out, I'm not going to lie. PSG want Donnarumma as well now. Well, the talk was that they wanted De Gea and that United wanted Donnarumma. That's the last I'd seen anyway. I personally want Pepe, Ziyech and Harry Maguire. Fucking slabhead can stay away from Liverpool, to be fair. I don't think he'd suit our system at all. And I don't want to pay £80 million for Harry Maguire either, mate, if I'm being honest. Pepe could be an option. Ziyech won't happen that I've seen. I've seen nothing. I keep saying this and I feel like an asshole saying it because I can understand why people would be interested in him, but I've seen nothing at all to link him to us. But then again, none of us seen anything linking Fabinho to Liverpool, and that happened. What else have we got? What would you say your end of year targets for the channel are? Don't know. End of this year. What are we in? June? 25k for the end of this calendar year. Would be really good, mate. I'd be over the moon with that one. We're edging towards 17k. We're about 150 odd off 17k. So, yeah, I don't know, 25 I'd guess, mate. But I don't mind. I'm just happy to be on here and have people tune in to watch. And that I get to share time with people. It's great. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, yes. So, again, check out Shankly Memorabilia as well. So, Shankly of the Shankly Hotel Group and all that stuff. They'll now have Shankly Memorabilia as well. I'm not sure of the website at this moment in time. Let me get it up for you on my phone, actually, because I want to give them a shout out, because I was chatting to them earlier on Twitter. Really nice people. So let me just get this open so I can give you a proper... So officialshanklyshop.com, officialshanklyshop.com for your official Shankly merchandise. Yeah, go over there, check it out. There's really nice stuff, t-shirts, mugs, scarves, from the most famous name to do at Liverpool Football Club. So officialshanklyshop.com. Yeah, go over there and check it out. A massive shout out to the Shankly family as well. How are you? What else have we got? PSG apparently want Keylor Navas, De Gea or Donnarumma. Enjoying the stream as usual. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Ant. I've got to be honest, I think I haven't been my best today. I do apologise. If I seem a little bit out of sorts, I'm just really tired at the minute. I need to catch up on some sleep. But yeah, I'm just knackered. So I do apologise if people are going, what's up with this dude? It hasn't been my greatest day today. I'm a little bit tired. Jace Roberts is in the Jesus. How are we, Jace? Great to see you in as always, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Put a cap out for the sub. What's this? Put a cap out for the subs. That's how beggars go about it. Put a cap out? I've no idea what that means, Pablo, and I've no idea if it's a genuine suggestion or if you're trying to be smart. So I'm just going to ignore it and yeah, move on. Although Brian's booted you out, so I guess Brian's made that decision for me. But look, every channel asks for subs, mate. I mean, it's the whole fucking point of being on here. Do you know what I mean? We started the channel to meet Reds around the world. We're hardly not going to say, don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the content, because it's kind of the whole point of YouTube, mate. I've just had my last exam today, said Cam, congratulations, mate, and I hope you knocked it out of the park. I'm sure you did. From the Cop said, this channel is awesome. I enjoy watching the content, mate. Keep up the good work. Thank you, but no need to ever thank me, as I keep saying. Thank yourselves, because without you guys coming on every night and giving the great content, because all I do is read it out. You guys are making the content. Connor makes the imagery. Brian comes on and helps. I just read it out. You guys are the superstars of this channel, and don't ever forget that. Have a day off, mate. We're not going anywhere. Oh, we're not. Whoever it is that's coming in to try to troll Liverpool, yeah, we're never going to stop. Never. We're here for the long haul. You've been great, Craig. Best football related stream on the internet by far. Thank you. I appreciate that. I just not having my most head clear day. I'm just a little bit all over the shop today, so I do apologise because I always try and come on and be happy and upbeat and try my best on here. But as I said, I had a fairly intensive psychologist session earlier on, so I'm a little bit worn out. You've been great, Craig. Thank you. Fingers crossed for the results for Cam. Hi, this is a new fan radio. Thank you. And hello, hi Michael. How are you? Have those Eriksen to Liverpool rumours died completely? I'd never seen them in the first place, Joshua. I would be amazed as well if Daniel Levy would sell him to Liverpool when he could move him out of the country and not strengthen a rival. But I'd love him. Christian Eriksen's amazing. Craig, I'm desperate to get Dortmund in our group. Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Those two ties against Dortmund would be nice. It'd be very hard games, but it would be lovely. It would be lovely to play them again. He's trolling you from calling you a B. I don't know what a B is, mate, but I mean, he's trolling. You've removed him. I'm not even going to lose my shit over it, Brian, because quite frankly, I've already lost my shit once today and I've had my fun. Fingers crossed for Cam. I love that. I love that all you guys are wishing him well. Nice. Gary Richards said Fekir, Ligt and James Maddison. No, and I'd like him, Gary, and I'm being brutally honest. Fekir looks like it's dead. Ligt looks like he's off to PSG or Barcelona. James Maddison, although I don't think we'll get him, I think he'd be a great piece of business, mate. But £60 million is the rumoured number for James Maddison. I think he deserves to stay, or he owes Leicester at least one more year, to be honest. I'm new to the channel. Do you think Lovren will get sold to Milan? Asked Ryan Scott. Well, firstly, Ryan, let me just take a minute to say hello, mate, and thank you for joining us. Do you know, for people who've watched the channel for a while, I had said a few months ago that I read an article that said there were 2 or 3 clubs in Italy interested in Dejan Lovren, and if we were to move on a centre-back, he's the one I'd move on. And everything that has come out, mate, the price, although Milan, is it AC Milan? Because AC Milan need to balance the book, so they're looking to move bodies on as well. But it makes sense. The price point of around 20 million is perfect to me. His age and his build-up of injuries would be one of the reasons why I would move him on. But I'm a fan of Dejan Lovren. I don't want to say anything but good things about the guy. But he is the one I'd move on. So I wouldn't rule it out, Ryan. There is some sense to it, at least. But it would be only if we were to bring in another centre-back. What else have we got? Somebody had a question about graphics. That's definitely a Connor Crosby question. I don't make any of the technical stuff, mate. I'm the tits and ass of the channel. Connor does all the technical stuff and the graphics and stuff. If you want to contact him on Twitter, it's at Connor Crosby _. Crosby spelled Crosbie and Connor spelled CONOR. Going to listen to the podcast, but thought I'd dip into the live stream first. Thank you, Jace. It's always a pleasure to have you in, buddy. It was great catching up on the podcast with Chris, with Dave and with Cash, and from the feedback we're getting, people enjoyed it. And you know what, Jace, I'm not going to lie, it was great to get back in the old saddle and record a podcast because it's been a while. Maybe we talk about crisps to cheer you up. There is the starvation factor as well. As you know, I've been on a diet for a while, and yeah, when you're hungry as well, it's a bit harder to be happy all the time. Yes, it is AC Milan, said Cahill. One of their centre-backs left and the other one just got injured, so it makes sense. Yes, absolutely, mate. And it makes sense from our point of view as well. Go get Alderweireld. That's what I'd say. Go trigger that Alderweireld release clause then. Ruben Neves is a really good player. I think Klopp would love him. Pepe Linder should see if he can convince him. I'd love him, mate. But as I've always said, if we got him, it would be the end of Grujic completely. But either way, it's a ruthless business, and Ruben Neves is quality. Ryan Scott said, love us to sign Timo Werner. It looks like, from what we're reading, it seems like Bayern Munich want Werner wants Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich are trying to play hardball with Leipzig and say that they're willing to wait for a year till his contract's up and get him on a free. Loads of people as well saying welcome into Ryan. Where's the Diet Chav? Here. You won't catch me out on that, because I promise you I do not go anywhere without a can of Diet Coke. Anywhere. In my car. I've got spare ones in the boot of the car and all. And I'm not even joking. When are you off on holiday? Not for a good while, John. July 22nd, mate. So still got 6 weeks to go before you get rid of me for a while. So yeah, loads of time. And hopefully some transfer stuff, pre-season games and the likes. A few more bits and pieces. Have you ever been on a tour around Anfield? Yes, of course, yeah. I've been to Anfield, I'd say, over 50 games, probably. But yeah, of course, yeah. I've done the stadium tour, and I'd recommend it to anybody that goes to Anfield. I like the way Liverpool sign up players to protect the future sale. No more rip-offs. Yes, it's clever, Gonads, and it looks like, again, Shea Ojo going to go on loan to Rangers, but we're going to protect his value by signing him up on another contract before he goes. God the Good One said, we only buy speed and energy now, so it's hard to find new players. Yep, and we're shopping at a certain level as well, mate, which does make it a little bit more difficult. Take a swig for me. Of course, Gary, anything for you, mate. There you go, buddy. I'm not going to lie, mate, I actually enjoyed that, so thank you for the suggestion. What about Donny van der Beek? I feel like I'm saying Spurs a lot tonight, but again, he was another one I'd seen linked to Spurs. Real Madrid are a club I'd also seen linked to that guy. Don't know much about him other than the few bits I've seen with Ajax. Probably somebody else in the chat better placed than me to give you an opinion on Van der Beek because I haven't seen much of him. Jason Roberts said, Lovren seems like a lovely bloke and his bromance with Mo Salah is great, but from a business perspective it would make too much sense not to sell him if a decent offer comes in. He's fourth choice centre back at the end of the day. Again, I agree with everything Jay said there. Jace, what are your thoughts, by the way, before I head off, mate, on maybe a Toby Alderweireld bid? We know that £25 million clause is supposed to be in his contract, and you'd only get 2 or 3 years out of him, but would allow Keanu Hoover to develop his game. Rod is in the house as well. Rod, how are we, buddy? It's been a while since we managed to catch you on a live stream. I know, obviously, because it's ridiculous o'clock in the morning where you are, buddy. Craig, did the wife get a final total? Sorry, missed it. She is... Well, it's yes and no, John. She's, I think, €60 off the €500 target. But we still have the money to come in from YouTube at the end of this month. So if anybody, by the way, does want to go and still contribute to Sabrina's Everyday Hero Fund for Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, the link is below in the description. So you can go there and it's still open if you want to donate to it. And thank you so much to everyone that did, by the way. I think we've got €443, something like that, in that account, and then of course there's around €100 odd coming from revenue from super chats and adverts as well from that day, because we did an entire Champions League final day was entirely a charity day, so every penny we brought in was going directly to Cystic Fibrosis Ireland. And again, thank you so much, because we had €100 donation, £50 donations, £25 donations. And every single penny, if you donate directly to that link, every single penny is going to go to the charity. No money taken out by YouTube, no money taken out by anybody else. Every penny direct to the charity. And I'm so proud of my wife for doing that every year. She does the Dublin Ladies Mini Marathon in aid of Cystic Fibrosis Ireland, and you know, she's I was going to say she's a better woman than me, but that is clearly true. But yeah, she's just a great human being, and I love my wife to the ends of the earth. Yeah, so look in the chat below if you want to do it. It is in there. Also, don't forget, check out the 12men.com and Anfield Agenda discount code gets you 10% off, and £1 will get donated to a mental health charity, which is great. I don't think there's much else we can go through tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to everyone that joined us. The interview with Cash is up on the channel. It went up this afternoon. The talk with myself, Connor and Brian about will Virgil van Dijk win the Ballon d'Or, that's on the channel as well. Check that one out. I think Connor has a few more little bits and pieces that are going to be uploaded during the day over the coming days. So that's why I say to you, turn your notifications on, because as well as the nightly streams during the summer, you're going to get podcasts, you're going to get little 15-minute transfer clips, you're going to get 15-minute videos on topics that we just think are interesting to talk about. And if a transfer breaks, I'm going to get my ass onto this computer and go live as well. So do make sure to turn the notifications on. As always, if you're doing exams, I hope you knock it out of the park. Don't stress yourself. Take your time. Yeah, just don't stress yourself. It's not the end of the world. And I'm sure if you've got younger people that are taking exams, I'm sure your parents are proud of you. And I'm sure that whatever you do, just do your best. And know that we all love you in here. And yeah, thank you so much for everything, ladies and gentlemen. Jay said, love Alderweireld. The price is a bargain in today's market, irrespective of age. However, I couldn't see us signing him. Doesn't seem like our type of buy in the current setup. David O'Donovan, Declan Rice is a Judas. I mean, I had to read it out, mate. I've seen it a few times now. Craig, any Pringles with the diet chav? No, on a diet, Gary. No Pringles, unfortunately, mate. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I will chat to you all tomorrow at 9:30. Whatever you do tomorrow, I hope you have a good day. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And this is where I hope that this little app works. It does work. Take care of your families. Tell your loved ones that you love them. And up the motherfucking 6 times European Cup winning Reds. Take care, folks.